Hey guys, so this is a specific Mulligan and matchup for Mage. So the Mulligan is the exact same as a general one. Nothing too fancy here, and again, keep your 3 or 4 drops if you do have them in hand and you do curve out well. And then the matchup. So we'll talk about Tempo Mage first and then Freeze Mage after. So against the Tempo Mage, Fiery War Axe can be a very, very good card, but it can also be bad. If your opponent has Mirror Image, then Fiery War Axe is effectively it's like a 2 mana card that removes a 0/2, which kind of does suck. But still, don't play around that. Just force them to have it. And again, if they don't have that, it's a very good answer to their 1-drop Mana Worm and then their follow-up 2-drop called Sorcerer or Sorcerer's Apprentice. It's very, very good then. Something else to watch out for is just throwing down a Frothing Berserker on turn 3, or even against like an Alexstrasza's Champion or something. Called Sorcerer and Arcane Blast can just simply clear that. One of the more dirtier things they can do is double Called Sorcerer into Arcane Blast on Draconoid Crusher if it's not activated yet. But I would watch out for that card. Again, you can't really play around it, but I mean, just watch out for that combo and it can happen. It's definitely a good reason to try and remove the Called Sorcerer as fast as possible. Because yeah, Spell Power does synergize very well with Tempo Mage. Another thing to consider about this matchup is how greedy you should be with your executes. And my answer to that would be not very. You should really just look to use them on a Flamemaker if you don't have another clear way to deal with it. And definitely use them on cards like Water Elemental or any of their 5 or 6 drops that they play. And also, as far as Flamestrike goes, I'd play around it if I can. Otherwise, I wouldn't really worry about it. If they have it, then they can have it, because some lists don't even run Flamestrike at all. Some run 1, and very few run 2. So I wouldn't look to play around that card actively, but if you can and still be in a good position to seize a victory quite soon, I'd recommend doing it. And then as far as Freeze Mage goes, Freeze Mage isn't terrible. It's not a bad matchup for us. Getting Finley and then getting the Hunter Hero Power is very, very nice to just pressure them. Cards like Alexstrasza's Champion and Kor'karon are key in this matchup, Forcing them to use their burn cards like Frostbolt on a charge minion is very, very good for us because it lowers their OTK potential, or even like their 2-turn kill potential, and it means that they're not drawing cards with like their turn 3 or something like that. They're using that turn to remove our cards, and we're getting damage in with cards like Alexstrasza's Champion. And if they can't answer it, then that's, say, Kor'karon Elite over 2 turns. That's already 8 damage. That's pretty big. So I would recommend to look for cards like that and look to just push damage. And yeah, that'd be my recommendation for that matchup. Next we'll look at the win rates overall. So we're 9-2 against Mage. A tiny sample size, 11 games isn't too much to say. For all I know, all those games I could have got really lucky and just won. I do think the Freeze Mage is favored. I'm not too sure how much. And I think Tempo Mage is relatively even, maybe even slightly favored. But again, it does depend on draws and how smart they are. Like if they don't play Mana Worm on turn 1 and hold it for turn 2 in Mana Worm and Mirror Image, then that's going to make it a lot harder for us to remove that card, and they could just snowball a victory simply off of that. So I definitely would watch out for that. And yeah, there's not much you can say about it. And again, you can even execute Mana Worms in that matchup. Just whatever's going to be favorable for you. So thanks again for watching, guys, and if I do have a Tempo Mage video or a Freeze Mage game, I will post it below, and I will also have the matchups below. The other matchup of Mulligan guides, that is. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.